Everywhere you look in Indonesia, we see people thirsty for God. And they're serving gods that they don't know, and gods that cannot change their lives or cannot help them. Everywhere we see people trying really hard, doing their best, being very religious to please God, and they cannot find that satisfaction, they cannot fill that gap in their hearts. So there is so much need to have people coming and helping them to find a way to find Jesus.
Indonesia is a very broad archipelago stretching from mainland Southeast Asia in the west to Papua New Guinea in the east. There are over 17,000 islands and has a population of about 270 million people, making it one of the largest countries in the whole world. There are 6 official religions that are allowed. That's Islam, Christianity is broken into Catholicism and Protestantism, Hinduism, Buddhism and Confucianism. So everyone in Indonesia has on their identity card their allegiance to one of these religions. Many in Indonesia have an official religion that is mixed in with indigenous cultural belief systems. For a large number of Christians, Christianity is inherited from their family and doesn't really require a whole lot of understanding or personal conviction. As a result, a lot of Christians believe that being a Christian is just about going to church and participating in church activities. Indonesia is a linguistically very rich part of the world. There are 700 or 800 languages that are spoken, from languages that have 100 million speakers to much smaller languages that may have 1,000 or so speakers, and also languages that only have a handful of speakers and are on the brink of extinction.
For a long period of time, Indonesian government wanted to unite the country through language. So all of the formal settings had to be done in Indonesian. And because of that, the church never used any local language in the church because it was prohibited. And so with changes of government philosophy over the years, then they were allowed to use local languages in settings like church. And so that's when it opened up for so many people group to finally be able to sing, to worship, to read the Bible, and do everything in the church in their own language. It was still very hard because they were so used and they have that feeling they were doing something wrong if they were using their own language. But we have been working for so many years with the leadership, and that mentality slowly changed, and the church then became very supportive of what we're doing with the promotion of use of local language in a local church. So that was a huge opening for us to really promote the work that we've been doing with them. There is a place for everyone in Indonesia, any kind of personality, and Indonesia is so diverse. I am sure anyone could find a spot they feel comfortable with. You need to be a little bit adventurous just to be able to accept things that people do differently from you. But I think in the end, when you start seeing God's working in people's lives and through your life, it doesn't really matter. Those things really become, it's just a secondary challenge, really. I would like to encourage you to consider being part of what God is doing in the lives of the Indonesian people, and take a step of faith and just try what God has set apart for you and what He's going to do through your life and the lives of other people.